All right, hey everyone, Papercut here with another replay review. We have Nizig, hope I'm saying that name right, playing China on Helendale against Bodoslama, French player. This is a 50-minute game. We're not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to watch basically probably the first 10, 15 to 20 minutes to get a kind of good idea what's going on, because often these games are won and lost within that time, and it extends this far because of multiple mistakes made by both sides. So also I don't have time to watch a full 15-minute game. So kind of strategy here is China. Your strategy here is that you really do need to get to castle. If you try to kind of feudal play it out against French, there's a pretty good chance the amount of knights they could produce will just be overwhelming at some point. So you kind of want to get safe and then get your way up to castle and win with kind of a crossbow spearman comp. You might need to put horsemen in as well and kind of raid. Helendale allows you to be pretty defensive, especially with the barbecue. You can kind of secure space. Your best bet is to kind of barbecue in the front here. And then a really popular thing right now to do with China is do pro scouts. So what you do is you would, excuse me, you would drop the Imperial Palace. You would then get one more, what's it called? Imperial Official. You would then get Barbican like forward here, which gets you these berries, gets you this gold, this wood line. And then you can base everything here. The key with playing against French is China is trying to create the tightest ecos possible. So you'd literally want everything in this little pocket here. You'd want your mill here. You'd want the Barbican here. You want your lumber camp here. And so everything can kind of hide under the Barbican and the TC. You then rush pro scouts by just getting like 4 or 5 on gold. And then with that, you can then and you should be making spears at the same time, basically. You then drop a stables, you get 3 or 4 scouts, you start grabbing deer, and then you rush castle. And then the entire time you're doing this, you're still maintaining spearmen for the knights, and then if he starts making archers, you can start making horsemen. And the horsemen also allow you, and when there's a break, to go raid his food, and then you're just trying to rush castle. Once you get the safe deer, and then with that deer, you can then age up and go castle and fight from there. Once you get crossbows, maybe your knights, whatever you feel like doing, you have a lot of options at that point. And if you can get Song, even if you're 1 TC, he gets villagers as well, but your eco should be better for a few reasons. 1, you should be getting even more villagers than him off Song. 2, your Imperial officials, if used correctly, allow you to get more resources than he is getting. So if you play the long game with French, you're generally on an okay spot. The thing that kills you is like a really bad raid or taking a really bad fight. And if their Night Mask gets very, very big and they go to castle, all of a sudden they are upgrading those. They'll upgrade those knights and they get really hard to kill. So you don't want to wait too long. If you let them mass too many knights, it's just really hard to beat. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's watch. Now, it is tempting to go. I like this already. It is tempting to go for these deer, but it actually kind of messes up your build order if you're going to go pro scouts anyway. That gives you a space. Oh. Okay, so first you don't need to do 3 on gold. 2 on gold is fine. So the opening so far is pretty good. The one thing that you should have done is 1, this village should actually be used as a save point. So either put the village like here so the villagers can hop in it. You also can put the village here so these villagers can hop into it if need be. I know you're probably going to put the Barbican right here, but even the village behind it gives you even more safety. So the village should be placed near where you're going to have villagers. 2, it should have been 6 on food and then 2 to gold, and then you're just rallying to food from there on out. You only need the 3rd on gold once you drop the Imperial Palace, really.
Are you gonna be recording for a while?
Just this. So like 20 to 30-ish. Nice Imperial Palace placement. You want to go get over to his base and try to catch where that first thing is coming. I am not a fan of this Barbican placement. Thanks. Are you gonna 2 TC? No, I wouldn't 2 TC against French. It can work, but you have such a chance. You need so much food, and there's such a high probability that you run out of food. And that struggles. It's really bad. I would have just done Barbican right here, because look at the resources it gathers. It gets you wood, it gets you these berries, it gets you this gold. You can always get the deer if you can get walls up. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this Barbican placement. I'm not a huge fan of going 2 TC against French. You can do a TT, you can get a second TC in castle. Yeah, this just feels really greedy, and there's a good chance that you get overwhelmed, in my opinion. Now we know the game's 15 minutes, you're not going to, but a better French player potentially does. Already we're seeing some of the eco imbalances. So you already have 200 food, which tells me you gathered way too much food early on. So you could have got that TC faster. So we want to be a little bit crisper about moving our villagers earlier when you get the thing you need. So you got enough food to age up. You got enough food to get the next Imperial official. You only need 2 Imperial officials early on here. Sweet, pull off food earlier and get on the stone and get on the stone and get on the wood faster with your Imperial officials so you can get that second TC up faster. And that's why you wanted the lumber camp here, or even here. Get the tower up. Okay, so now we're pretty safe, but the food issue is going to be a big deal. And if the French player just stays aggressive and keeps making units, this should be bad for you. If we look at the French player, look at the issues he has. He's on berries instead of deer, so he's hurting himself on food. And he's not spending down his resources. Like, he's going for an early chivalry when he should just be making knights. I bring this up because if we want to be playing towards improvement, you're going to play against French players who are much better at this early aggression, and would be punishing you way harder. Like, right now you have no units, and if a better French player gets like 6 or 7 knights and gets air defense, he just dives you. And kills a lot of vills because you don't actually have a lot of places for vills to hide near where they all are at. So they're all sitting right here, but all of their hiding places are like over here. So yeah. Now we're getting the barracks. Supervise the barracks. You need like 3 spearmen out ASAP. And this scout should be somewhere where, like, the scout should be, if you're not going to go check his base, but you should see, is he castling? Is he going to TC? Is he making more units? Has he gone archers yet? Like, these are all things that are important to know. I would place the horseman, the scout like here, because this is the easiest place for you to be raided right now. You also put the Barbican on the deer, but you're not on the deer. This is your chance to now get on the deer. Want to use this Imperial officials effectively too. So this, you need 1 that's on the food at all times. You have 1 that's roaming, which is fine. But the roaming one I would actually put on production right now. You need a lot of spears. Good, get that upgraded. Getting the back walls up good. Okay. The lack of scout here is really hurting you. Like, you need to see where he's coming from. The village. You want to be gearing more towards age up, and this is why you don't need Imperial official on gold, because you're getting a lot of gold just from your Imperial officials walking around and gathering stuff. So you already have 1,000 gold, right? And whenever you get that much extra gold, feel free to just drop a market and actually like spend the gold by buying resources. But you're getting a good job of getting walls up and things like that. I would drop a stable literally for the scout. You need to know where his units are coming from. 5 on stone is confusing to me. What do you need the stone for? To upgrade towers? You only need 2 or 3 if you're doing tower upgrades. Make sure you're consistently making villagers. And get on the deer at this point. As much as possible, keep a lot of villagers together so your Imperial officials are paying off. But here's the key. There's not a lot of knights and he's not making archers. So when I see less knights and I don't see archers, I know they're rushing castle. You're good at this point. You have the 2 TC up safely. Though you're not consistently producing out of them, which is an issue. But once you notice, especially because your scout died, he's not making a lot of units. You have to rush castle yourself, get the next walls up, and a couple towers is great because if he goes men at arms, those towers with upgrades can actually kill men at arms. Now he just ran away, so you want to get the next wall up here. Right now, run deer. Food's a huge issue for you right now, so you're at 36 on food right now, which is great. I would have the next Imperial Official on the other food source. Like, whatever you are low on, always have the Imperial Officials focus on that resource. You moved them over, that's great. You have a lot of spears, which is great. You can just cut unit production and rush. Just have villagers go over and repair that. Rebuild it, good. Aging up. Imperial Palace. Honestly, don't hate it because as a French player, he probably needs to be on the map a lot. But you want to then partner that with either going Palace Guards that run around and raid or get your own knights so you can raid with those. But at this point, now that you're transitioning castle, you need a lot of gold and wood. Wood, because you need to add more production buildings, and you're going to start doing a farm transition soon, probably. Gold, because you need a lot of upgrades, you need gold units. So you now need to transition a good portion of, like, basically the villagers that do the upgrade. I'd split them between wood and gold, straight up after this. Yeah, you're in this position now where it's like, you're just trying to survive until you can push out safely. So he's on the, he's on the gold out here. And he's still, like, within his base. And you saw archery range. So this is another huge one at the Imperial Palace. If the villagers are near production, he's doing 3 archery ranges. So this should be an immediate, like you have the spears, right? This should be an immediate switch. I like you're getting air upgrade to just Nest Bees or Mass Horsemen or Knights. But he's probably going to Arbaletier. Like, even though your spears, no, he's doing archers. Okay, then just Mass Horsemen or Mass Knights would do great here. But you see it. Do you do the switch? Production. So look how many resources you have sitting here. You have 1,500 food, 600 gold. We're not spending it. Even if you were just making Palace Guards, that's fine. Like, we need to spend the resources and make units. A huge part of this game is just making units, and a lot of times people lose because they just don't make units. It seems silly, but it's true. You saw what he's going for. I want to see like 4 stables dropped with immediate just Mass Horsemen being made. You have to use that Chinese eco to your advantage. Now you're at 74 vills. He's at 55. This is where you should start feeling that eco lead by just purely outmassing him, out-zeroing him with units. If you did pure Horseman spamming, you could beat him right now. And you could even do Knights if you need to. But you're not making... There we go. More production. Look at your resources. You should also just keep making spears. Like, during that whole... So now you're out... Like, you're at 19 military. He's at 30. Based on your resources, he should not be that. Even if you had, like, 50 spears. That's better than nothing, because then your spears could just charge his archers and force him back. This is also the point where, basically, I would pull 2 Imperial Officials. I know there's a lot of APM, but that's China for you. Supervise both stables and just mass Knights. Like, that's another strength of China. Because of the Imperial Officials, at any moment, you could just have them supervise production buildings and just do a complete comp switch. And a mass Knight switch here would go really, really hard. Also, getting the relics here wouldn't be bad at all. Now, the Barbican setup here is making this nice, or defending your farms really nicely. Though if the barbecue was up here, he wouldn't be able to walk in the front here anyway. Now, he could move in the back, but you should be able to defend that. Like, if he was better, he would just attack this and push all these villagers off this wood here. Which is not making units, man. Like, keep making spears. Why not? Like, we're just not making units at all. I like getting the stone walls up. That's good. Now, okay, now. But why ranged? He's already ranged. Are you trying to match range for range? Like, I guess Zugnu would do pretty well here. Zugnu versus Archer. But you have the solution. Just do Knights. He's also grabbing relics, which you could have also grabbed relics yourself here. What's over the issue I'm seeing is just not... Where's the comp switch? Where's the units? Okay, now we're making units. You still have all your units sitting back here. You're not fighting with your full mass. No, he did just get shredded on your towers, which is nice. Here's the thing. If I see someone go Knights Archer like that and he went that many Archers, just do Pure Knights. Pure Knights wins that. Easy. Yeah, he's not changing. Now, he could go into Arbitraire, but if you get enough Knights before he starts his Arbitraire mass, he won't win. You just gotta make Pure Knights. Are his Knights juiced? They are. So one issue we'll face is that his Knights are super, super juiced. They're much better than your Knights with 80 plus health. Jesus Christ. So what you do have to do is you do need to add Spearman or Crossbow. But Knight Crossbow versus Knight Archer, you'll win every time. So these should be crossbows that are being produced with Knights. Gold is an issue. Why do you have nothing? Oh, because you're being attacked. So that's why the Barbican up here protects the gold, which is really important. Our Imperial officials collecting. At the upgrade, you need one more Imperial official. But yeah, this just feels like you had that window where your eco was much better than his when you both hit castle, and you could just way outproduced him. You saw what he was making because the Imperial Palace, and then you never played off of that. You never actually produced the units that took advantage of that, and now you guys are kind of equalized again. You're at 79 vills. It's at 73, which tells me you're not making vills. You should be at like 100 or more vills at this point. Did he kill a lot of vills? He did. He killed 22. And that's all because all your eco is forward, and you don't have anything to really protect it. This is also when you can start raiding too. Hit the Imperial Spies, send 2 Knights out to an open villager group and do some raiding yourself. That's also a move here, but so far I just see that the thing about the Chinese eco is that switch from when you really are getting a lot of villagers and you've defended, and then all of a sudden you drop like 7 production buildings, which you know what they're doing, and just completely outmass them. That's the thing that you're missing here, is that hard switch and then making the units and going for it. You knew what he was making. But when they do the juiced Knights like that, you gotta get crossbows. Crossbow Knights is the only way you're gonna win this. You also need stun because you gotta secure your next gold. So you gotta drop a like his victory condition here is once you run out of gold, you die. Right, so you have to get the stone to drop the next keep here and take this gold. Preferably the keep goes here, so you have stone, gold. But once this gold runs out, you're gonna be in a little bit of an issue. So you have to win this next fight. Like in this sort of situation, you're kind of surviving until you get enough mass to push up to secure the next gold, and then you're good from there. No, man, that keep needs to go here. You gotta secure your next gold. Oh no. I am not a huge fan of that. Like the awareness we need is I'm running out of gold. Hillendale is all about the golds in the center. Like once you run out of your initial gold, it can get really bad really fast. I think you're raiding too much now. Oh, this is really dangerous, my man. Okay, you gotta drop a keep on this immediately. But like, if he sees this and just rushes everything over, you gotta be able to defend that keep. Keep. Oh, his scout just ran by. Keep. Good raid. Keep making units. And that's what I mean, man. You cannot have villagers out on an island like that against French without defenses. Without a keep, without something. This is also your moment to push. You've way outproduced them, I'm pretty sure. 72 military. 68. Yeah, you just got a good raid off. This is your time to push. You've killed a lot of vills back here. This raid was actually really good. So when that happens, that's another indication for you as China, I gotta push. Because if you do eco damage, your eco should be so much better that you might not win the first wave, but then you win the second wave. And that's why you need a lot of production, and then you're just zerging out. So this is when you needed to push right here. Right here. You keep raiding. So why are we afraid to fight? Right? Especially now you need gold. You have to fight just to secure gold. Now it's too late. That's some thick Knights, dude. You raid again. You also need to go imp. And what do you do imp? You needed my big thing is gate wall, gatehouse, protect your farms. So you could have done it here. You could have put it on this. You could have put it on this. You could have deleted stuff and put it here, but a gate wall, gatehouse is huge for your ability to protect your farms. Good raid yourself, don't get me wrong. The nested bees, great choice. The knobs. You actually protected a lot of your villagers. That's great. Dude, this was actually really good for you. He overdove. You hid your villagers really well. You put them all in safety. He didn't kill really anything. He lost his entire mass. You've been raiding in the back. At this point, you gotta go. Like, this is actually the moment where you should be going. Everything's open to you now. Like, you can drop a keep on this gold easy. You just killed his entire military. You could drop a lot of production. Like, once you've gotten this sort of jump where you've they've lost all their units on a dive, you then immediately need to remake and push, and then secure space. So drop keeps on resources, push, just make units. You could go imp here, but that would spend all your gold. I'd actually be more in favor of just going for it. Especially because you don't have any gold secured. But you do have the stone for a keep. So we're gonna see what your response is here, and then we'll probably be done. Where's the units? No, you just protected so many villagers, you lost them all right here. Love it. But just secure the forward one. I guess he might have units. He's red palacing you. Yeah, he actually has no units. Oh, yeah, his knights actually. Yo. And that's when this game becomes a lot harder. Like, you can, like, really, you have to use trebuchets to take down the Red Palace. Unless you have, like, 4 bombards rolling up. But the Red Palace can even kill bombards. So at this point, and it's hard to raid too, because then his TC now has this Red Palace upgrade, but he's not in a great spot. You're at 100 vills. He's at 61. If you just get the gold, rush imp, go hand cannoneers and spearmen, drop a tower, get trebuchet, knock this down, or just siege workshop over here, push this and walk in and just ignore the Red Palace. But really the story, like multiple times in this game, it was about unit mass, unit comp, and spending your resources. That's really it. And being aggressive. Part of it is that you lost your scout, you never remade it, so you never really knew what he had. So you're kind of scared. You kept like being scared to walk out. It's okay to walk out, test and walk back, or get a scout, check what he has, and just be a little more aggressive, which will pay off for you a lot more. Hope you found that helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on your games.